Greetings and welcome back to the Point, the chess program where we examine crimes in the opening and discover the most exact tactical punishments. I am your host, Chris Torres, and today we will be looking at a truly magical victory played by Potter in 1870 London. So grab your wands and broomsticks and be prepared to explore an absolutely charming game. And don't worry, you don't have to be a wizard or even a muggle chess player to enjoy this one. The 19th century, or 1800s, would have been an exciting time to live and work in London, England. In addition to being the capital city of the United Kingdom, 19th century London was famous for being the largest city in the world, housing the world's largest seaport, and being the international heart of finance. In addition, many of London's most famed museums, music halls, and theaters were built during this time, including the Canterbury Music Hall, the Royal Opera House, which at the time was known as the Theatre Royal, the British Museum, the National Gallery, and the Tate Britain. With so much talent being attracted to and culture being celebrated in London, it is no wonder that the city was then the home to many important chess personalities, and the game was held in very high esteem. William Norwood Potter was an excellent writer and a well-known chess player in England during the late 19th century. Born on the 27th of August in the year 1840, it is fun to imagine that William's brother Harold was the father of James Potter, whose own son Harry discovers chess at Hogwarts. However, it's best to stick with the facts, and what we know from historical records is that it took William Potter to around his 30th year to become a notable figure in the chess world. He added chess articles to the Westminster Papers, 1868 to 1879, and was editor for 2 volumes of the City of London Chess Magazine, 1874 to 1875. In 1875, William Potter lost a match to the famed chess master Johannes Zukertort. Mr. Potter's analysis in the Westminster Papers on the games from the Paris tournament of 1878 are still insightful today, and Potter has 2 opening variations named after him, one in the Scotch game and another in the Evans Gambit. In 1879, Potter played a match with the notable chess master and writer James Mason, which resulted in a hard-fought draw. William Potter finished his career by writing about chess in Land and Water, the last periodical with which he was connected. A little-known fact is the famous Saavedra position that every chess student should study actually originated in one of Potter's games against Richard Fenton. Even after his death at the age of 55, his articles continued to teach thousands to play the royal game, and this was especially true because of his handy article entitled Chess in the Encyclopedia Britannica. In our feature game between William Potter and an unnamed amateur, it would be easy to believe that William Potter used some form of sorcery, such as the Confundus charm, to bewilder his opponent into making such serious mistakes in the opening. More likely, however, is that amateurs actually make such bad opening moves, and masters punish them severely. So before we begin, let's review our 10 opening rules so that we are familiar with these time-honored principles and learn to recognize the mistakes played by those who ignore them. The 10 opening rules are: Number 1, open with a center pawn. Number 2, develop with threats. Number 3, knights before bishops. Number 4, don't move the same piece twice. Number 5, make as few pawn moves as possible in the opening. Number 6, don't bring your queen out too early. Number 7, castle as soon as possible, preferably on the king's side. Number 8, always play to gain control of the center. Number 9, try to maintain at least one pawn in the center. Number 10, don't sacrifice without a clear and adequate reason. And now to our feature game between William Norwood Potter and the unnamed amateur, Accio. To make the game more exciting, William Potter played his opponent without a queen. Evanisco! And then the queen disappears. Starting with e4, putting a pawn in the center is even important when you do not have a queen. Black plays e5. Knights before bishops. Bishop c4, developing the bishop to where it threatens the belly button. Knight f6. Knight c3, white's already got 3 pieces developed. Knight a5. The unnamed amateur seems to have forgotten the rule number 4. Don't move the same piece twice. Knight takes e5. When playing at queen's odds, you have to be aggressive early, as you're simply not going to be winning very many endgames. Knight takes e4. The first major mistake by the unknown adversary. Playing knight takes c4 would have removed white's bishop from c4, and thus alleviated Potter's main threat on f7. For example, if knight had taken on c4, white would take back, I'm sure, knight takes c4. Black could play knight takes e4. If Potter took back with his own knight takes e4, then black simply forks the 2 knights with his queen's pawn. But the unknown adversary played knight takes e4. White played d3. Potter could have captured with the bishop on f7, which would have led to some exciting tactics, but I guess he's opting to allow his opponent to make another mistake. Black inexplicably chooses not to exchange pieces while being ahead in material and under attack, but instead places another knight to another bad square. Potter, with a boss move, responds by announcing, Mate in 9. I'm not going to ask you to spot the mate in 9, as that is a little beyond the level of chess player this lesson is aimed at. Instead, we are going to focus, as we always should, on analyzing our checks, captures, and threats. And in this case, I'll make it even easier. What is Potter's best check? If you guess bishop takes f7 check, you are correct. Black has only one option, king e7. And now what is Potter's best check? If you guess bishop g5 check, you are correct. Black still only has one option. And now it's a little bit trickier, as we could just play bishop takes d8, but Potter's looking to checkmate. Which is better? If you guess knight b5 check, you are correct. Black still has only one option, king x e5. Our target practice continues with black's king now in the center of the board. What is the best check for white? f4 check is correct. Now black's king must move to f5. What is Potter's best check? Knight d4 check. The black king is really having an unpleasant excursion onto Potter's side of the board. What check did Potter play here? h3 check, of course. King is forced to go to g3. Now, what to do as white? Knight e2 check. The checks continue. King takes g2. And what is white's best check here? If you said bishop d5 check, you are correct. Black's king has nowhere to run, so his brave knight steps into the line of fire. Can you spot white's checkmating move? Bishop takes e4, checkmate. If you spotted that, congratulations. What an extremely superb example of punishing opening mistakes severely. And as the great chess writer Irving Chernev declared, This is one of those rare examples where the forced mating sequence is actually longer than the earlier part of the game. Mr. Potter definitely used some magic here. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I am Chris Torres, and this has been To the Point.